You will never learn anything if you first don't learn this one thing. Before I jump into this video, I want to give a quick shout out to Kevin Trudeau. I had originally learned these principles from Kevin's work, and they have been totally transformational in my own life. And so these are foundational teachings that anybody should learn, especially if they want to become more masterful in themselves. And so primarily this work comes from the work of Kevin Trudeau, and I am very indebted to how amazing his information has been for me in my life. So if you want to learn anything in life, if you want to be good at anything in life, if you want to actually succeed, you have to be this one thing. You have to be teachable. The concept of teachability is absolutely foundational in terms of learning anything and embodying the type of person that you want to become. If we're not teachable and we're reading books or we're learning new information from videos or listening to our mentors, the information is going to go in one ear and out the other ear, and it's not actually going to make the impact that we need to have in our lives. So the concept of teachability is twofold. It's your willingness to learn and your willingness to accept change. So if you're 100% willing to learn, you've got books, you got videos, you got mentors, you're dedicating time to learning, you're journaling, but you don't apply any of those principles in your life at all, you have a 0% teachability. Now conversely, if you just do, and don't actually take time to learn and apply to become better, you're not actually going to progress in your own life. You're not going to get better. You're just going to stay stagnant. So even if you're doing all the time, but not actually learning and integrating new information, your teachability is also 0. So in order to fully learn, in order to fully be 100% teachable, you have to be 100% willing to learn and 100% willing to accept change. So here's a very practical example of how this works. Let's say you're a martial artist and your sensei teaches you how to throw a punch. He shows you all the techniques, he shows you where to place your muscles, he shows you how to move your arms, he shows you how to move your hips, and you're watching and you're like shaking your head, yes, I understand. And then when you go to punch something, you completely just disregard everything he said. You are not teachable. You haven't learned, you haven't integrated, and you just keep doing the same thing that you were doing earlier without integrating the new knowledge. So the most difficult part for everybody to do, generally, is to be consistently applying themselves to be better. Not everybody's going to change at first, but if you're consistently taking in mind new information and applying it, you're going to be getting the results that you want a lot faster. Now, sometimes people will hear the same information again, and they'll say, I already know all of that, and yet they're not actually doing anything about it. You can read a book about meditation. Oh, I know how to meditate, but do you actually sit down and meditate for 30 minutes a day, right? So there's an expression that Kevin says that I really love that says, to know and not to do is not to know. If you really actually want to change in your life, you have to be constantly asking yourself, am I teachable? Am I teachable? Will I learn? Will I accept change? Because if you're not keeping that in the forefront of your mind when you're trying to learn something new, you won't make any progress. Some of this information that you come across in my channel, or perhaps other channels like this, may be really challenging to you. Maybe this is the first time you've heard some kind of information like this, or maybe you have a very preconceived idea as to how things are in your life, and when you come across this information, it's very counter to what you believe. And so you have to ask yourself, when you come across this information, and you're listening to somebody that you like and that you trust and ultimately embodies the principles that they talk about, you have to ask yourself, am I actually willing to learn from what this person is telling me? Is this person actually doing what they say they're going to do? And are they getting the results from it? Because if that's the case, it's wise if you listen and apply what they're saying. Now, when you listen to a lot of this information, it could sound very strange to you and you could reject it. But the fact of the matter is this: if you want good relationships, if you want an exciting life, if you want anything exceptional in your life, you have to do the exceptional things, which will sound very strange and very different to the normal thinking kind of person. Remember, you can't get outside of the box while thinking inside of the box. As you go through my videos and as you watch some of these courses that I've put together, perhaps maybe you're watching this video separately from other videos within playlists, you just have to consider that all of this information that's pieced together as a grand mosaic of your life is all information that will be beneficial to you, that will totally change your life. And some of it may sound a little strange. Some of it may sound a little out of pocket. But consider this: People that really care about what they do, people that really want to show up to be a servant to other people, are always going to be giving the best suggestions that they know how they can. A lot of this information you may come across in my channel perhaps may seem a little abstract or maybe unimportant, or it might not seem like it's applicable to you. But I promise you that if you look at these videos, you integrate what I'm saying and integrate what other similar people are saying, like my content, you will get changed in your life, especially if you apply it regularly and consistently. You have to remember that if you want something extraordinary, you have to be extraordinary yourself. There's a very strong chance that a lot of people that are watching this video may really start to reflect on themselves and say, man, I really want to do those things. I think about doing those things. I wish I did those things, but I don't actually do those things. And some people very well may feel a little bit of a mini crisis going on because they realize that they've been lying to themselves for a very long time. And when they hear those things, when they see the distance from where they are to where they want to go, they may feel like it's totally impossible to get to where they want to go. But here's the thing. As long as you're taking daily steps every single day to make an impact and a difference and go in the place where you want to go in your life, eventually the distance from where you are to where you want to be will dramatically decrease. And for many, many people, change is terrifying because on the other side of change is a mystery. They don't know if it could be worse. They don't know if it could be better. They don't know if their pain or suffering is ever going to change in their life. But you have to consider this, that the pain that you're feeling right now of not being the person that you want to be, eventually is going to outweigh the pain and the discomfort of making the change to become that person that you want to be. And when we're teachable and we actually decide to take the steps to make the difference, to learn the information, to integrate it in our minds, to make it a part of ourselves, and to take daily action on it, eventually we will get the results that we're looking to get. So as an assignment, what I want you to do is I want you to write down the 5 most important things to you, the 5 things that you really, really, really want to accomplish in your life. Could be losing 15 pounds, could be asking that girl out, could be starting that business. And then I want you to write in a column next to it, do you actually do the things that you know you need to do to get to where you want to go for that particular thing? Are you actually actively listening to information, to experts, to knowledge that will help you get that result? And are you consistently doing that every day? And look at the difference between the two, because then you're going to see the integrity gap. And then you have to ask yourself, am I teachable enough to change? Am I teachable enough to learn? Am I teachable enough to take action? Remember, this is your choice. And if you're teachable and you learn from the right people, you will get the results you're looking for. So if you've been listening to a lot of information like this, and it's in one ear and out the other ear, and you have become an expert in listening to a bunch of videos that'll help you get your life together, and yet you still somehow can't get your life together, I want you to consider clicking the link in my bio. What we're going to do is we're going to get really, really clear about exactly what's holding you back, and I'm going to show you exactly where to go, and I'm going to give you a guideline and a template to help awaken and enliven inside of you, to show you the man that you are meant to become. Because ultimately, you have one life. And I know, deep down inside, you desperately don't want to waste it. So I'll see you there.